All right, hello to anyone that's watching. Um, new stream, new day. Let's go. Starting kind of late today, I guess, but whatever. It's all good. Um, so last stream, I remember I was talking about how I had an issue with the build system, and I had to spend like a day or whatever figuring it out. So I got all of that done and working. It took a lot of annoying debugging and figuring out the correct way to do things and all of that. But now it's all good. So hold on, I need to fix my chair. There we go. Yeah, so now it's all good. It works. So hold on. Slash build. So this is the desktop version of the building and such. It's really quick because a lot of it's already pre-built, but all of this is all good, same as before. Well, actually, it's a little bit different. I don't want to go into it too much, but it's basically just I'm more correctly setting up SDL and such. And then we also have the web version, which is which will build our web game correctly, export it and all of that, and I even got the sound working and all that fancy stuff. So it's probably going to be really loud again when I run it, but it is what it is, I suppose. So let's go here. It's going to load it up in just a second. There we go, and it works perfectly, exports with no issues. The really loud sound, there it is, so it all works. So, woohoo, sound is perfectly set up, the build system's all perfectly done, all that yesterday. It would have been probably very frustrating to stream that, so I didn't. And yeah, huge poggers, so... Alright, so that's done, so that's good. And then now the thing that we're gonna do to continue is we're gonna be finishing setting up, I guess not setting up, but implementing the sound system. So here, this is how I keep track of sort of my progress on the project, as well as like what I plan for the project. So I have like so this backlog is sort of like what I plan to work on in like the very near future. Like as soon as the current thing's done, I'm gonna take something from here and then work on it. In progress is what's being worked on now. So if there's gonna be like multiple people on the project, I guess like with my friend Arnold, then he might put something from the backlog into here, and then it's like, oh, I know that's being worked on, so I don't need to worry about it, stuff like that. But for the current time being, it's just like what I'm currently working on is sort of going here, goes done when it's done, and then this is like long-term stuff, semi-long-term, that I plan to work on eventually, but probably not within the next month. I think the Ruby scripting implementation that I'm going to be doing is probably going to take a really long time, and I hopefully want everything that's from this backlog and in progress all done before, I think it was like May 24th or something like that, because that's when there's the Toronto Game Jam that I'm going to be going to with my friend Arnold. So we want to have sort of the easy, fast Ruby scripting done, and like all the basic implementations done and ready for the Game Jam. So that's why like the sound system is like the currently like most important thing that needs to be working, that isn't working yet, right? That isn't finished. The Ruby scripting is important, but it's nowhere near as important as having the bare bones basics, like input systems, exporting to web so that other people can play it, graphics, stuff like that. So all of that was kind of first on the checklist, because without those things, then this is all a waste. Not a waste of time, but it's kind of, without those things, this doesn't work. So that's sort of the plan. So we're going to be doing the input system, the sound system today. So I've written up some stuff in the past, and then this is what I wrote up yesterday. So I did a little bit more research into the sound API that's used by SDL Mixer, and then I sort of compiled a checklist of what functions we're going to have to implement. We might have to implement more, some behind the scenes stuff, but this is like sort of what's going to be visible to people using Rodeo Kit. So, and then hopefully we can kind of get a bunch of this done. I don't know if we can finish it by the end of the stream. Maybe. I guess we'll see how fast we can go through it and how many problems kind of arise along the way. But yeah, so the research that I did, so I pretty much just looked at the I believe these are the official SDL2 like docs that they have, like their wiki, and then here they list every single mix function, and then I kind of just went through it, like read through some of them, kind of saw how it worked, and sort of like imagined a situation that I want to happen, and then see if these functions kind of do it. And there's some like limitations which I kind of can't get around at the moment, but in the future I'll consider revisiting this. So like, for example, so there's sounds and there's music, and the difference between sound and music is that sound gets loaded from the disk instantly, like as the whole group, and music gets loaded as like a stream where it only loads up a chunk of the song at the same time. And I remember we had this issue with our other game. Let me see if I can find it. I guess I'll show you really quickly. This issue where we loaded the music as a sound, meaning the whole entire song had to be taken from the quote-unquote disk into RAM, and that takes a really long time. So the way this is set up, because the web doesn't allow you to play music on page load, it only allows you to play audio, music, whatever, on user interaction. So that means currently the game, which is waiting for us to interact, hasn't loaded the music yet, right? And then as soon as we click anywhere on the screen, it'll load up, it'll initialize the audio system, and then it'll try to load the music right away. But because loading the music, because the music is so big, it just freezes the game for like a couple seconds before it continues. So if I click here, like enter the arena, like nothing's happening, and then it clicks. So you saw like that delay of the click, and the reason for that delay is because of loading the music, which really sucks. Basically, the frame rate hits 0. There's just 0 FPS while it's loading that song, which really sucks. So that's why there's going to be music and audio. So the issue that I have, so the issue is sometimes I might want to have like there's 2 different songs, and then one song is going to play immediately after the other, and I want to fade out from one song as I'm fading into another song. And these like the way the music is set up in SDL, there is fading functions. However, you can only stream one piece of music at a time. You cannot do 2 musics or 3 musics, etc. So you have to fully fade out one song, and then you can fade in another. There might also be a situation I can think of where I'd want to play like 2 music, pieces of music at the same time, which would maybe, if we want to like do something creative with music where we have like the drums, for example, separated from the guitar or something like that, and then we overlay them on top of each other, and then depending on the situation that's happening in the game, we might want to like fade out the drums or something, or fade them in as something more dramatic happens. But the way that the current system is set up for SDL Mixer doesn't allow that. So you can only have one piece of music at a time. So if I wanted to do something like that, I'd have to load them all in as sounds, which have that issue of freezing the game while it's loading the sound. So that's kind of an issue that I have with this system, but just gonna deal with it for now and just say, well, sucks, but SDL Mixer is currently the fastest thing I can do to get running and working. And with a deadline, you know, in a month, I don't want to spend, you know, weeks trying to build some kind of custom solution or figuring out some other more complicated system. Excuse me. So for now, this will work. In the future, I'll explore either using like the base SDL's audio features and kind of building something custom, but that seems a bit tricky and very time consuming, so I'm not sure if I'm going to want to do that. Or the other option, which is what Raylib does, which is using, I believe it's called mini audio. So I'll probably end up going with mini audio at some point. I think it's called mini audio. Let me check. But yeah, probably will end up going with that option. So I think it should be in the code somewhere here. Audio. Yeah, mini audio. So that's probably long-term what I'm going to end up going for. But accounting for time constraints and such and just getting something up and running off the ground, this is I think the best option I have. So that's what we're going to be working on today. So if we go to, let's see, so we're going to have to open up everything from the audio stuff, and we're also going to have to open up everything from here, this audio stuff. Yes, okay. It's only 2 files, not too bad. So we have this base stuff, but we're going to want to change that all around. Just thinking what's the best setup here for how I want to do this. Okay, so we're going to do the initialization, the new customized version of the initialization, and I think also changing the master volume, just because it's really annoying getting, you know, jump scared by the really loud sound effect every time. So for this audio system that I'm going to be devising, I want to have it have sound pools, and then you can individually control the volume of each sound pool, something like that. Or so then it could be like, I know that like a lot of games usually when they have like volume settings, usually they'll have something like character voices are like one volume slider, sound effects are like another volume slider, like menu button sound effects are like a third slider, something like that. So having sound pools would be nice, where we'd have like one sound pool for one of those, and so on and so on, and then you can just manually adjust it in the code easily. So we're going to be implementing that. SDL sort of has these kinds of sound pools. They're called groups, I think. Yeah, groups, but they're kind of sort of annoyingly implemented, where like, yeah, there's like these fade outs, but then you can't like tell a group to pause. Like if I go through, there's all of these, group available, group channels, there's halt group, but I don't think that pauses it. That just cancels. Yeah, I think it just cancels them rather than pausing them. Yeah, it'll deregister any registered effects. Yeah. I think it just cancels the sound rather than like pausing it. And then there's also no play like either, like continue playing. So it's kind of annoying, I guess. We're probably going to use a little bit of that group functionality, but we're going to have to implement extra stuff on top of it. Okay. So, initializing the system. So we want number of pools and size of pools. So here, switch these up. All right, so the right side here, we're gonna have the header, and then the left side, we're gonna have the implementation, and then we can just kind of go back and forth to change between them. So we're gonna have unit 32, and I said it was number of sound pools. So num sound pools, and then we'll have size sound pools. All right. Oops. Forget, did I do? Yeah, I did like this. And include, it's called, I think, int something, int types, int types.h. Yeah, that's why that error was there. Yeah, just because these are like, so C has like the regular built-in types, which are just long, int, short, long, like they're just really horribly, terribly named. So if you use int types instead, then like these are like, oh, this is a 32-bit unsigned int. So it's just way simpler to kind of look at it and be like, oh, I know what that is. I know what that means. So that's why I use that instead of the built-in, really annoying ones. Okay, so this is fine. So this was channels, I remember that, but this is the different type of channels. It's not like the one that, oh, maybe I should explain why is there like sound pools. So SDL, I think I talked a little bit about it before, but SDL has, whenever you play a sound, it goes into a channel that you choose, and each channel, and these are not like left and right stereo channels, that's like different. It's pretty bad naming, but whatever. So whenever you play a sound, you can either pick a channel to go in for it to play in, or you can pick, I think, a group to play in, or you can tell it to play into any free channel. And the way that it's set up is that you can, each channel can only be playing one sound at a time, and that's it. So that's why you want to have like pools of sound channels, so that you can have it play like 3 or 4 gunshot sound effects at the same time or something like that. So the size of the sound pools will determine how many channels each sound pool is, and how many of the same sound effect you could play at the same time in a given sound pool. So that's the reasoning for that. So this, I believe, can all stay the same, but we have to add allocate channels, which will make sure that a number of channels exists equal to what we need. And by default, it does 8 channels, but we're just going to change it to be exactly what we need. So mix allocate channels. And we'll do that after the if statement. Or because the if statement is an error, so we need an else statement so that it only happens when there's a success. So I believe that's how that works, yeah. So we're gonna have mix allocate channels, and then we're gonna have the number of sound pools times the number of, or the size of the sound pools. Conversion changes signedness. Okay, so we want these to be regular ints. Interesting. Okay, right, because I think it lets you send a negative number, maybe? yeah, if you send a negative number, then it returns the number of channels without changing anything. So that's why it accepts signed integers, and I guess we'll accept signed integers here too, just so that there's no conversion required. And that's an error because I didn't save. Yeah. Okay. So we have that. So that's all good. I believe that's all we have to do for that for now, but we will probably have to revisit this later. And then let's check out here. So we have initialize system. Okay. And then we need a function for setting the master volume. So let's put that here right after. We're going to do audio master volume, volume set. And let's check how SDL has the volume for master volume. How is it set up? Accepts a regular integer, signed. Returns the previous volume. If the specified volume is -1, this returns the current volume. Okay. So it goes, the volume must be between 0 and mix max volume. Note that it's 128. Yeah. Note that master volume does not affect any playing music. It's only applied when mixing chunks. Use mix music volume for that. Oh, the link's broken. Music volume. Is there? There it is. There's get music volume, but there's no regular music volume. Interesting. Huh. Maybe it's just they forgot to write it down. Mix volume music. Is that why? Mix, yeah, I guess it's just they named it wrong. Get music volume, yeah, that's that one. And then volume music, which is, okay. Set the volume music, returns the previous volume. And then this returns the current volume. Okay, so we want to have them both set at the same time, I guess, if they're... Oh, that's very annoying how the master volume doesn't control, or it doesn't work on top of the music, because you'd want the music to have a separate volume slider from the master volume slider, but well, it is what it is, I guess. Maybe I'll just make a note about that or something. Okay, so we're gonna have it. It was 128. 128 is that 8-bit? I think. Unsigned max. 255. So it's a 4-bit variable. That is interesting. And 128 is max, so it's more than it's like one more than 4-bit, which is very annoying. 255, and then wait, hold on, my brain is okay. Yeah, 128. Yeah, okay. Just thinking, what type to use here, because I know that they're using an int32, but should I just use like a uint? Is there like a uint4? There is not, so I'd have to use like a int 8_t. Could do that. Or I could do like, I think, you know what I like better, I think, is if I use a float, and then it's just 0 to 1 is the volume. I think that would be a lot nicer. also have a audio. This is the getter. Just because I prefer to have them, I guess, as separate functions. So for setting the master volume, we're gonna need this one, and then we do volume level times 128, I believe. Should be correct. And then we want to cast it to int 32 because that's what it expects. What is the, oh, it's not expected. A semicolon somewhere? Am I missing a semicolon somewhere? Oh, oops. Why is that there? I am blind. Okay. I believe that should be correct. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think that's fine. And then we're gonna need to do the setting the music volume, which is this one. Which is the same thing. Just do that. I'll just have them both set to that. I guess so. I think that's fine for now. I might think about that and change it later, but we'll see. And then we're gonna have this. And then it'll return it. Should. Ah, that's right, because we expect it to be a float, so we have to cast it to a float and then divide it by mix max volume. Mix max volume. Because this is going to give me a value, for example, 128, and then this will divide it by 128, which will equal to 1, and then it's all good. So that should be fine. Actually, yes, it has to be like that. And I'll just do that just in case, but it shouldn't matter, I don't think. It'll be fine. And then, yeah, return that just to get the master volume. And then in the initializer, we're going to do one last thing, which is we're going to do audio, master volume set 0.5. Which will be setting it to half volume. And then it's going to be type F. Why is it conflicting? Why would it be conflicting? I'm not sure. Maybe it's because I didn't declare it yet, and that's giving me issues, so. Oh, wait. Yeah, no, that should be fine. But I'll put it here first. Yeah, I guess that was the issue. All right. Set volume, get volume. All right, so that should be good enough now. Should work as expected, hopefully. That's all good. Okay. So let's go back to here. Back to our checklist. And so we're going to want to change our sound initializer to be from a file, and I don't remember if we made a sound deinitializer, but we're also going to have to do that. And then we're also going to have to change the way that we play a sound, meaning we want to give it a parameter which will be that sound file we initialized earlier. So we're kind of just making our example, our quick dirty sample, our quick dirty like implementation into more sort of generic modular implementation. So load samples. So it'll just be sound and then create. There was a thing, like I did this before for textures and I named it slightly differently. So that's why I'm like sort of unsure if that's how I want to name the function, because I want to try to be consistent. So include rodeo.h texture create from path. So I guess I should call it that too. Should I do like that? From path? That's fine. So create from path, and then we're gonna have a C string path. Okay, put that to a different tab thing. All right. So C string, if you don't know, that's it's a string implementation that was made as part of like STC. Let me find it. So it's template container, generic, smart template containers. So these are extremely handy for when you're doing things in C, because so like C++ has I think it was like the standard library, STD or STL, something like that. So this pretty much, and like C doesn't have anything like that, like built in. All the standard, or like 95% of the standard stuff built into C for like extra libraries that are built in are just garbage. They're like really old and outdated, but and then so C++ kind of has that advantage, or had, I guess, that advantage until I found like this STL, which pretty much does exactly what like a C++ standard library would do, just implemented, you know, for C, and it doesn't use the C++ stuff. Like this is all implemented in C, and it's just so handy, and it's so like well made that, you know, for like sets, you can, like the most useful stuff for me, which would be like strings, sets, and vectors that are just so handy and easy to use. And and they also have like some nice for loops and such also. But yeah, these are it's so good. So I use the C string, which makes C strings 1,000 times easier than having to deal with the really goofy way that it is in C. You have all these really nice functions that just let you like add stuff to strings, appending them, you know, resizing them, checking their size, checking all of this, and it's just, and then it also lets you convert to and from C string, like real, like the way strings are in default C. It lets you convert back and forth with STC's strings, which makes them so good. So that's why I use these, because they are so good. So we're gonna accept string. Oh, Hammy! Hello, Hammy. Welcome. It's so nice that you showed up. Make sure to like follow if you haven't followed yet. So, but I really appreciate watching the stream. Arnold, if you don't know, wow, Hammy K followed this minute. Oh, thanks so much. Yeah, so Arnold, if you don't know, Hammy is a friend of mine from like a Discord server that I'm in. So yeah, he must have seen that I'm streaming and then joined to watch. So yeah, I really appreciate it. It's just a pretty chill stream. So if you if you like wanna, you could just leave the stream running in the background, you know, while you do whatever else, you know, playing games or whatever. That's fine too, you know. Lurking's good. And if you want to chat, I try my best to try and keep up with the chat, but I have failed in the past, but hopefully I'll be better at it. So yeah, the beginning of this stream, I guess like the first half hour was me explaining what I'm doing, so I'll probably not do a half-hour explanation intro into what I'm doing again, unfortunately. But, you know, maybe you can still kind of follow along. The general gist is I'm implementing, well, I'm making like a sort of game development library engine type thing. And then the current thing that we're working on is implementing a sound system, which will basically let me play audio in the game. Because currently, the game that we have, currently what we have now, most of it is just this. So it's like a lot of rendering, input stuff, all that works, which is nice and fancy. Can have like thousands of different sprites at the same time, no problem. But like the sound stuff, we have like a test version of it. So like that like scratching noise, that's from the game when I press a character. But it's only like, it's super basic. So we're making it like a lot better now. So that's what we're currently working on. And then the current function that I'm working on, that I'm building, which is creating or loading a sound from the file. So we're using SDLs, a bunch of SDL functionality, so we don't actually have to like do it all super low level. So it's all good. It doesn't take too long. So all right, now trying to get back into the groove from that slight tangent. Yes, so we have a path. So then instead of doing this, we're gonna have to do CSTR, and I forget the name of the function, so I'm gonna have to open the thing again. It is cast to, so CSTR STR, I think. Let me just check. Yeah, looks like these are the ones. It might be slightly different, potentially, just because, what's it called? My STC that I use might be a little bit outdated, so. Okay. Okay, and. Alright, yes, that seems fine. Alright, and then it'll load up the sound, but then we also have to, oh yes, we're going to get rid of that variable sample sound, because we don't need that anymore. Where is it? Here. So we're not going to use that anymore. So we're going to use, just thinking, we're going to want to have some kind of custom type which doesn't expose the SDL type. So we're going to want a new file that I'm going to want to add. So which will have, hold on, just thinking, how do I want to, I sort of forget how to do this part. Because I know I want to have a separate file for the types. So, okay, I'm going to do something a little bit, a little bit different. So I'm going to put the declaration of the type. And I sort of forget how you do this. Is it type def struct, and then it would be audio sound type. Is it like that? I forget how you do this part. This part always gets me off guard. There was like a Reddit post I saw recently that explained really well how to do it. Let me see if I can find it actually. Hold on. C programming, I think. Let me see if there was something about structs. There was like a really good explanation by someone, and now I cannot remember what it was. So, how would you free this data structure? I don't remember what the post was called either, which really makes it annoying. Yeah, typedef struct thing, but it's like, I think there's a slightly different way to do it, where like you only say this is a struct, and then you only use pointers to it, because typedef struct thing is saying like, oh, this structure, oh, I think I'm overthinking it. I think it's just this. So basically, I'm not trying to rename it in this file. I'm trying to say that like a struct is gonna exist that's called this at some point in the code somewhere, but it's not visible to you and you don't know what's inside it. So effectively, this can only be used as a pointer because the compiler doesn't understand how big the structure is, but it understands the size of a pointer. So that's sort of, I don't know if that's the best way to explain it, but I guess that's kind of what that means. I don't know if that makes sense. But yes, typedef struct thing is for when you want a struct to be named as something else, something like that. But yeah, I think this is what I'm looking for. I think. And then, so here, so basically, I explained this, I think, in another stream. But, yeah, oh yeah, Arnold was there when I was explaining it. But yeah, I explained it in another stream where it was basically like this, these header files for this. Let me open up tree, include, and source. So we have like a bunch of header files, and then, but these header files, we want the ones that are public to only show like things that are usable by the user, and then if we have any like header files that hide something, then we put them in the source folder, like that one there or that one there. And the idea behind that is like, I don't want to expose SDL like structures and functions. I want those hidden behind my like implementation, like on top of that. So and so this structure is secretly gonna be the SDL structure, but I don't want that to be seen when you're using RodeoKit, if that makes sense. So that's why I'm doing this one. Way too much explaining for declaring a struct in a header file. But hey, there you go. So now I will be able to do this, but I can't do that yet. Actually, it's going to be a pointer, but I still can't do that yet because it doesn't know that the audio sound is a mixed chunk. So what we're going to do here is now we're going to do typedef and then was it mix chunk, and then rodeo. Oh, I might be doing this backwards. I am not sure. No, that's correct. Okay, so yeah, so now this like type definition, I'm actually going to put it in a different file, but I just wanted to test it for now. But yeah, this type definition basically exposes, saying like, oh, that's what this type means. But here you're just saying this will be a type and it will mean something in the future, but we don't know what it is yet. Actually, that's technically what these functions are too. These functions are just saying this function will exist somewhere else in the code. We just don't know what it is yet, but I know that, you know, if it does exist, this is what it's gonna kind of look like, but I don't know what it looks like behind the scenes. So we're gonna want to open in src audio, and then we're gonna want to have rodeo audio t.h, I believe, and then this will be the audio types, which is going to be this one. So this is going to be a hidden audio type, and we're going to want to have this here, and we're going to want to have this is private, so I'm going to put it under the private header separator. Include is it just audio slash, yeah, okay. Unknown type, okay, yeah, that's all fine and dandy. Yeah, seems all fine and dandy. All right. So now we have this hidden thingy-maboober there, and then we've got all of this working sort of nicely. We're just gonna have to fix all of these errors that are gonna show up, but we'll get there in time. And then once we have, I think it's these three functions working, then we'll be able to run a quick test and see if it works out or not. So, okay, so we load the wave, we store it in this variable, and then we just check if it's null. If it's not, then it's good. And then we turn sample sound, and we need the return type to be audio sound. But not quite, because it's a pointer. There we go. All right, and then we're going to do the same thing here. This will accept a audio sound type pointer sound, and then we can just free the sound. And I don't think we need to set it to null, just because, yeah, if you free it, then it's null. So yeah, conflicting types, that's okay for now. And then mix play channel, oh, right. It's supposed to be, and not free, but destroys the keyword that we use for naming it. All right. So now we're gonna get a parameter here. So there was a slight difference here between the way it's set up. So when we're gonna play a sound, it requires an ID for which pool to play in. For the time being, I guess I'll add the parameter, but I won't implement it because we have to implement pools. And at the moment, I just want to test to make sure that it works. So that doesn't matter. So we're gonna have the sound, which would be audio sound t sound, and then I think it's like 32G pool ID, and then this is just sound. And we won't bother using the pool ID for anything right now. I guess I could just put it here, I think. Yeah. Okay, fine. Make it a regular int. All right. That's good. And then we need to change the headers so that it matches, so that everything matches. So that matches master volume get. Actually, we could just delete these because we've renamed them completely anyway, so it doesn't really matter to keep them. And it doesn't know what that is, so we have to include it. So internal, yeah, public include audio/audio.h. Oops, misspelt include. And why is this freaking out? Oh, I'm including itself. What am I doing? And why is this an error? Must use struct tag. So wait, can I do the type def here? Or do I have to do the type def separately? Does type def struct thing work here? I don't think it does it? Oh, it does. Oh, okay. Well, that's just way easier, I guess. This looks very confusing, but I think the best way to visualize what's going on here, I guess, is like this. You have a struct that's sound t, and then you're renaming struct sound t to just sound t. Yeah, just because it's really annoying having to type struct blank everywhere, and I don't think it really adds anything, so there is no point. But what we can add is this external. And I know I said I don't want to have anything external be public, and there's only one exception that I'm going to keep, which is the STC stuff is just going to be considered as like sort of a thing that the library uses and expects you to use. And I'm not going to wrap it up. I thought about wrapping up like C-string and all the other, but it's way too complicated and way too much work for zero benefit. So I'm just going to use the STC stuff like, I guess like, what's the word? Judiciously? I don't know if that's the right word. But yeah. So it's stc/cstring.h. There you go. Why is it freaking out? Redefinition. Oh. Can I do... So I'm not allowed to redefine. Interesting. Okay, so what if I do this and then do a type def? Is that... I'm not sure how I'm supposed to do this, actually. Type def, C-string, rodeo string. Yeah, there was... Yeah, but you also... See, the thing is that doesn't really work. It doesn't work because all the functions still say C-string. Like, the functions that you use to run the thing, like, all of these are C-string. So I'd have to, like, rename all of these functions, which is just a huge pain in the ass. And it works for C-string, kind of. But the problem is once you start trying to like wrap up like C vector, it just doesn't work. Just because the way that like C vectors are defined is using a bunch of macros, so I'd have to like rename those macros myself, I guess, and then it's just... I'm just rewriting all of this just to have branding, I guess, which is a waste of time. So yeah, that doesn't... But yeah, for this, I am not sure how I am supposed to do it because I want to say that these are the same thing. And then here, just because I really don't want to write like this. Like I could just do this, right? Like I could write struct there, but I don't want to do that. Why is that errored still? Oh, because there's a missing semicolon somewhere. I really don't want to write this struct because it's inconsistent and I don't have that anywhere else. So I'm not sure how I'm supposed to type def this. If it freaks out that you can't, can you not like see type def type def? Can you do that? Is that legal? See, maybe like nested type def. Let's see. No, this doesn't look useful. Oh, maybe that will make it. Let's try typing it out this way. Maybe? Is this even valid? No, it still doesn't like that. Type def redefinition with different types. Redefinition, different type def. Let's see. Not legal in C prior to 2011. Yeah, it's not useful. We can't use 2011. We're using 99. Forward declarations are independent from definitions, so they should be in a separate header file. Type def struct A. So I guess, am I really what am I redefining though? Oh, I don't get this. This has got me stumped. If I do like A, does that? Is it because I see, I think I get why this error happens. Because there is already a type def for this. So what I'm trying to do is, hold on, I'm jumping all over the place. So I don't want this to say struct thing, right? I want it to be just this. But you can't have this because it needs to be that that is type defined into this, right? So like C has like two different I think it was like scopes or something like that, or namespaces. So there's like the struct namespace, which is like this, and then there's the like general namespace. And if you don't want to use the struct tag, you have to redefine the struct to be type deft into the same thing but without the struct tag, right? So this is what I want to do. But the issue is that in this conflicts with it, because I'm defining a struct to have this name, and then here I'm having this struct into this name, and it doesn't like that. So I'm not sure how to... hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I am back. So yeah, I don't know if that made sense what I explained. You had a moment to think about it, I guess. But I guess, yeah, the issue is that I want to have this definition of mix chunk into something else as like inside a different header file. But then in this header file, I want to use just this without saying that it's a struct, and I guess there's a conflict here that I'm not really sure how to fix. If that still doesn't make sense, then I'm bad at explaining, I guess. Okay, I think I know what I can do. What I can do is I can just create a new struct in here, I think. Wait. Okay. I have an idea. Yeah, pretty much. I'm doing type def for two different things into the same name. But they're kind of not really different things. They're the same things, but I have to do it twice. And because I'm doing it twice, one has to overwrite the other for it to work. And then because there's an overwriting part, that causes the compiler not to be unhappy. So causes them to be unhappy, so they don't like it. But I think I can fix it if I just wrap up mix chunk into a struct and then type def that wrap up. So I think that'll be fine. That'll be like a decent enough solution. It's unfortunate I can't just do these type defs, but there probably is a way. I just am not aware of how to do it. And I can't think of how you would do it. I'm sure there has to be a way, though. I'm just not thinking of it properly. Yeah, okay. I'm just going to do the wrapping solution then. So we want src audio slash... oh, that's right. I wanted to do... hold on. I wanted it to name it like that. I guess I'll have to fix that naming, but that's okay. It's technically a type, so hold on, let me think about this for a second. This, and then okay. And then audio.h, so that's this one. Huh? Maybe there's a different issue that I'm unaware of? What is going on? Wait. Is this the issue? No. Why is that freaking out? An included file type def redefinition with different types. Oh, oops. That, I think. Is that not? Redefinition of what? Huh? What's the redefinition? I have the struct and I'm redefining it into this. Is that not? Something I am doing is wrong. What if I try this? Oh, okay. That works. So, okay, I think I can actually, hold on. Does that work? No, that doesn't work. But if I do this, then does it work? No, still no. Ah! Yeah, I'm not sure how to do this. Redefinition as a different kind of symbol. I mean, is it though? How is it a different, how is it a redefinition as a different symbol? I'm just saying, define that as that. Maybe there's like no. Actually struct foo type def struct foo. Oh, yeah, that's what I did. I don't know why it's an error though. How is it a redefinition? Am I mean, this is just declaring it, and then this is, but the order doesn't seem to matter, I guess. It's just always, yeah. Whatever goes second will error out. Huh. Maybe I could just use like macros to somehow fix this, but that would just be really annoying. I don't want to use macros here. Different kind of symbol. Redefinition as a different kind of symbol. C struct. Okay, let's try C. Okay, I think I have to do this another way. Because I put the name after the... Oh, is it? Is that... Maybe. Oh, I guess that makes sense. Because the part after the brackets is like a... Isn't that like a type definition? Even though I didn't say type definition, I guess that's what it thinks. Huh. Well, there we go. That fixes everything, I guess. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, that, wow. Saved me a lot of time and frustration with that. Big hint. Very, very helpful. Thank you, Arnold. Thank you. All right, well, we can move on then, I guess. I just have to fix this to be, hold on. Public goes here, internal goes here. Wait. I'm mixing everything up. Hold on. External. And that would be those ones. Oh wait, no, this is, oops, I'm forgetting my own naming system. Internal, and then this is public, and then this is private. Okay. Whew, all right, it saves a lot of, oh, there's one more thing I had to do, which is, more once. Sure thing, Arnold. No worries. I'll just keep going. Keep on trucking along. Oh man, that's really unfortunate how long I was stuck on that. Okay. So now that that is done, this is still slightly annoying, but I don't think there's anything else I can do. I think that's, yeah, okay. Size of radio, audio. Or a pointer to it, or is it? Okay. A size of that. Oh wait, no, it is just that. My bad. Size of the struct, and this is just setting that incompatible pointer types. That's right, we're doing SDL sound. Okay, and then if sample sound SDL sound is equal to that. Okay. And return the Enter to the sample set. Okay. And then this will be sound, SDL sound, and then free sound. Okay, so then, yeah, here we're gonna allocate just like a super tiny amount of space just for that struct that we're wrapping, and then we return it as a pointer. And then later we have to remember to free that space of the pointer, or else we're going to have a memory leak if we don't. So that's why we have to add this little extra bit there too. Now we can get down to audio play sample and then edit this out. Change this up, which would be SDL sound. And then now I think we're hopefully, I think we're ready to play some sounds. Oh, I have to rename this. That's right, because it's just audio sound play, audio sound destroy, audio sound create from path. Okay, initialize, okay. All right, naming is all good. Let's double check the header because there's probably going to be some stuff missing here. So we got create from path, and we also need sound destroy, and then we're going to need sound play as well. And there we go. That should be everything that we need to implement on this side. So now we can here go to the game side, and then that is main, and there should be some errors popping up. Perfect. Now we can just scroll to the errors and then change it up. So let me just I'm gonna make this is quite the mess here. I'm gonna add a new variable here at the top, the global namespace, or I guess the global whatever, which is fine just because we're doing it. All of this is just like temporary testing stuff. So and then it's gonna be oh, one more thing I forgot, rodeo.h. yes. Actually, I might have... Oh, no, I don't think I did forget. It's already included. Yeah. Last time I did it, I included it. I always want to have, like, all of my little subheaders from all my segmented different systems to all go into rodeo.h, so then I only have to include that once, and then it includes the whole kit for me. So now we're going to declare the thing that's going to hold the sound. So audio sound T scratch. We're gonna call it scratch, and then we're gonna initialize that inside or outside of the main loop. Before it, there is this one. Load audio sound create from path. And then the path is assets slash sample.wav. And then we want to store it inside of Scratch. Oh, that's right. It's CSTR lit. So we have to convert this C style string into a C string. I know it seems kind of goofy that we're converting it back and forth, but in the case that we have like a bunch of strings that are edited and then use the C string type, I just prefer to stay consistent and use the C string type everywhere. It's not really that big of a deal to just add this little bit here, so it's all right. I guess in the future, if I really don't like that or it's too, I don't know, performance heavy or something, I could always fix it later, but for now, that's fine. It's fine as it is. So then we have the scratch created, and then we can scroll back to where we play the sound. So I'm going to do sound, play, scratch, I don't know, -1 or something, whatever. And now the game should do exactly the same thing it did last time, and there'll be literally no differences. So yeah, it's great. It's great. Like that, yeah. If there's no differences, then we just succeeded. An hour and a half later, oh, we didn't succeed. There are errors, which is always great, because that means it's telling us that we need to fix some stuff. Oh, redefinition, but I didn't, but I thought I fixed that problem. Oh, how is that a redefinition? In what universe am I redefining something? What? Sound redefinition of type def, but I never defined it. This is the first place I ever define it. Oh wait, I think if I do, maybe that'll fix it. I think that might be the issue. I didn't do pragma once. There's still other errors though. Ah, the initialize function in Rodeo C. Ah, I did forget about that. That's true. The big blob of code that I need to break up at some point, but haven't gotten around to it yet. Just hasn't been time for it. I've been kind of focused on trying to get the bare minimum sort of working. So I guess I'll do like 4 and 4. Should be fine. So that's maybe that's too big. Just be maybe like 2 and 8. I think that's 8. No, that's the same thing. I'm just bad at math. Yes, that should be fine. Okay, so we initialize it there. Now it should work, but I think that error or that warning might come up again. I guess we'll see. No, it's all good. All right, and then yeah, the big annoying scratch sound works. So an hour and a half later, streaming, and we have made huge progress by having nothing change at all in the way the game looks. But hey, at least underneath it's better, so. Okay, well that's good. All right, I'm gonna take a short bathroom break, and then I'll be back to continue implementing probably like the sound pools next. And then hopefully, maybe we could get this done today. We'll see. We'll see. BRB. Okay, I have returned. So, we wanted to work on the sound pools now. Okay, just thinking through sort of the best way to how I want to go about it. I'm probably going to have to make some kind of vector of vectors, I guess. Feel like that's probably the best situation, or the best thing to how to set it up. Then again, there's kind of no need to make a vector because the size of the pools are fixed upon initialization, so I guess I could just use arrays. Use the structure of arrays. So it would be something like give me a second to think about it. Okay. Include you. Hello, Arnold. I just took a break also, and then I am also back. Audio T. So yeah, it all compiles and works, so it's all good now. Once, and then, so this is gonna, so now what we're doing is we're implementing the pooling functionality that I wanted to have, which is the, I guess it's going to be like these three functions next, but we're going to have a way to, so the initializer, we're working on having the initializer create the pools, and then it's going to have a special structure that contains arrays of those pools that are stored in there. And that's so that we can adjust the volume of specific pools, because pools have a bunch of channels, so you're going to have to iterate over a pool to get all the channels and set their volumes one by one, because there's no SDL way that's built in to do that. So we're going to have... oh, that's right. No, it's going to be in here. So it's going to be... Oh, yes. Okay. Yeah, okay, so it's going to be, oh, wait a second. I think I do know how to do this part here. The way that I wanted to originally do it. I think if I, hold on. I have an idea so that I don't have to do this struct shenanigans. If I make the struct like this, struct, and then make it iRodeo audio sound T, and then mix chunk. Why is it? Oh, because I'm doing it backwards. That's right. Chunk. If I just have this one use a different name, then I think it will be fine. I think. So then I do struct like that, where I redefine this structure to use this name. And then here I define the structure there, and I think that's okay. Is it? Everything works, except these, which are Perfect. These are exactly the kind of errors I want. And then I just paste it there. And I just have to do a little bit of rewriting. Incompatible pointer types. Struct with an expression. That should be fine. No? What if I cast it into audio sound T pointer? No? Huh. Struct sound T. But then if I do, hold on. Something is amiss. Am I doing this backwards somehow? Or like, no? Maybe this doesn't work. Because I can do this, but why wouldn't that work? Maybe because that's technically not a struct, I guess. Yeah, I think that's why. Because it's technically not a struct, so I can't do that kind of type definition, because this is technically a different thing. Which is kind of annoying. Alright, well I guess we can't do it this way then, never mind. Go back to the old way and just leave it as it is for now. Maybe I'll revisit this again some other time. But for the time being, it'll have to stay. Okay. So, where was I before I had this idea? Oh, that's right, it was here. So I need to make a struct type defined, which is rodeo. Oops, iRodeo audio channel pool. Yes. Channel pool, and then it's gonna have a is there a channel like object? I don't think there's a channel object. I think it's just integers. I think so, because if you do like fade in channel, yeah, it just gives you this. So channels just have an integer ID. So it's gonna be int int 32 type, and it's gonna have to be a pointer, and then so this is gonna be an array of int 32 t's, I think. So I guess it doesn't need to be a struct. Just thinking, but I think it would make more sense if it was. Thinky. Just look up C2D arrays. I see. But I want them dynamically allocated. C dynamically allocated to the array. Let's see this. So, if it was a 2D array, so they just have an int pointer, and it allocates a huge, it allocates the size of the rows and the columns. Rows and columns times size of int. Okay, that makes sense. So in that case, we don't need a special type. It wouldn't make sense to have a special type. Instead, we're just gonna have a static, what was it called? Audio channel pool. Is that what I called it? Yeah. Channel pool, and then it's gonna be int 32. So it's gonna be a pointer. Oops. Type. Okay. Unused variable. Yeah, that's okay. So then here's where we're going to initialize it. So set the volume. Before we set the volume, let's do this. Audio channel pool equals malloc, and then it's going to be num sound pools times size sound pools times size of int 32. That's wrong. Implicit conversion int to unsigned long. Unsigned long. What is an unsigned long? Wish the errors didn't use that, but that's unfortunate. Unsigned long is a 32-bit. Oh my god, this is so cursed. Long int signed. What? Is it just because it's, it's unsigned long int. That is very confusing. So the error that we have is that it's, well, it's not an error, it's a warning, but it's an unsigned long. So is unsigned. It's really hard to tell with these boxes. What the heck is going on? Okay, so it's an unsigned long is a 32-bit. Okay. So now that means we just have to cast this to U32. That should be good. Yeah. Yeah, so I have the warning set up so that it warns me whenever there's like implied type conversions, just so that I'm fully aware of what kind of type conversion is happening manually. And I guess the advantage of that is that you won't have, like, you'll be kind of more aware of like underflow and overflow issues from casting. Like if there's some case in the code where you're like, oh, I have to use a max size, unsigned integer, and then later you're like, oh, I have to convert it, or later you're like, oh, I'm just gonna like add these two numbers, and then it warns you, hey, you're converting this to something else, and then you're like, oh, but if it's a max of something that's unsigned, it won't work with something that's signed, and so on. So that's the theory behind why I kind of enforce it more so. I don't know how, it hasn't really come up as like a problem, but I guess it's just something that I kind of want to follow just because it seems pretty good and it doesn't really, there's no problems with it. So okay, so we're initializing the 2D array. For the channel pools, and then there is a SDL function which lets us specify exactly how many channels we want to allocate, which is this function here. Mix allocate channels and returns the new yeah, okay. So this is what we're going to use once we know everything about exactly how many channels we're using and all of that. So this is going to be sound pools times size sound pools. Okay. Oh, and I already did that because I can't read. That's right. That's right. Okay. So we're gonna, here it allocates all of them, and we don't actually have to store it in here because they're just referenced by numerical IDs. So we just oh wait, I believe I've made a mistake. I don't think there's actually a, hold on, I think I'm getting a bit too tired today because I'm forgetting how I want to implement stuff. So the problem is that hold on, let me think for a second. The problem is we need a way to iterate over a specific sound pool. So we also have to assign each sound pool into a channel group, and then we also have to make sure that our array is storing the correct pools for each thing. Okay. Okay, I think I get what I want to do. Hopefully. Okay. So after we allocate the channels, oh man, it is really tough trying to stream more than 2 hours. Oh, I need to get better at this for sure. We're gonna want for I equals 0 while I is less than the number of sound pools. Yes. For int j 0, j less than size sound pools, and then plus j. I think this is how you do it. Do I need a semicolon for the last one? I do not remember, but I guess I'll find out. No, I do not. Okay. Now we're gonna do one more here. To 0. And then we're gonna do audio channel pool I j is equal to temp channel ID. And then temp channel ID. This equals 1. Subscripted value is not an array, pointer, or vector. So what am I doing wrong here? Let's find out. Because I thought they did it this way, but putting 1 to 12, no, putting accessing the array values as if it were a 2D. Oh, I see. You can't do the double brackets. Unless I use an array of pointers, but yeah, that is kind of... I feel like doing the double brackets is just a lot more clear than doing the single bracket confusion that happens. I mean, it's not that complicated, but it's complicated enough where I don't like it, so... okay. Give me a second to think about it. Let me just see, how did they allocate it? They did count int array r. I think I just need to say that it's a double pointer in the static section, I think. Then that'll mean that it is, yeah. Oh, and that just works. I guess that makes sense that it would work, I think. I hope this works. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm doing here. I guess ask questions if it doesn't. I am feeling a little bit sleepy, so I could be making mistakes as well. But I think that's how you do 2D arrays. I think that should be fine. Maybe it's not fine. I think I have to I think I might have to do like assigning the pointer first and then I can start accessing it like that, because I think otherwise I'm gonna have issues where I'm like accessing bizarre data that doesn't work. Yeah, I think I'm just too tired to keep working on this today, which is really unfortunate because I feel like I didn't get enough done. But I think that'll be it for today, because I think I just need to take a break from this for now. I think I'll be able to continue tomorrow though, so maybe I'll try to stream earlier just so that I have more energy, because I guess it's getting kind of late and I'm starting to feel sleepy, so Even though I don't normally go to sleep at this time, but I guess I did a bunch today. So, all right, I guess that'll be it for today. So thanks everyone that watched and followed and etc. So hopefully I'll see you either tomorrow or next week. Yeah, that's no worries, Arnold. I feel like I wasn't even really looking at what I was doing, so that's fair, you know. It's all good. It's all good. No worries. Tomorrow will be a better day for finishing this stuff up. I mean, as long as we can finish like this sound stuff in like less than a week, yeah. Then it's Defective Zuckerbot. That's also another friend of mine on the server. Yeah, no, I don't think I am legally allowed to respond to your message. Maybe, I'm not sure. So, but yeah, unfortunately, you showed up at the last minute. I don't know if you showed up at the last minute or decided to message at the last minute. Oh, thanks, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, the harassment isn't fine, but it's fine because I know you, so I guess it makes it a bit less weird. But it's all good. I'll forgive your harassment if you follow my stream. Then it's okay. So, you know, I'm gonna wait for you to follow, and I'm gonna harass you for a follow now. So I will not go offline until you follow. So, okay, thank you. Thank you for the follow. If anyone's watching, I am not harassing random people. I am harassing people I know actually outside. So, what does follow do? Well, you see, following helps me become an affiliate, which would give me a bunch of cool features, like channel points and stuff. So, and also I think it like emails you and whatever. The music is from Gran Turismo, and I don't know which one, because I'm playing it from a playlist. I could check. Actually, it doesn't say which game it's from, so because it's just a list of names of the song. But if you want, I could send you the song later. But yeah, it's Gran Turismo, because Gran Turismo music's great and it's very chill. So. But yeah, I am unfortunately pretty sleepy feeling, and I can't think for code anymore, so... Oh, yeah, no, that's fine. That's good. You know, thanks for supporting the stream. You know, would have been probably better if you were earlier when I wasn't ending the stream. But, you know, it's all good. It's all good. But yeah, I guess maybe tomorrow. I'll think about streaming tomorrow. I'll see if I'm free. Hopefully. If not tomorrow, then Monday. So it'll either be tomorrow or Monday. So yes, cowboy. Maybe it's because of the cowboy cat on the screen that makes you think that, you know. But anyway, I've been on here long enough. So we'll chat later. We'll chat later, either tomorrow stream or Monday stream. So thank you for showing up, everyone, and thanks for chatting and the help and etc. Yeah, bye-bye.